Hey guys, I'm Daniel from Consider Tech. Today we're going to be talking about the April Apple event. I know it's a little bit late, but we're doing a lot of stuff right now, and hopefully we'll be posting starting weekly again, but I'm just doing a lot of stuff with the channel. In the first couple minutes of the presentation, they added a purple iPhone to the iPhone 12 lineup, which is just a color, so not really a big deal, and kind of confused actually why they added it so late into the lineup because 12 came out last year. But it's a nice color, so that's kind of nice. And it was on the iPhone 11s, so I guess that's why. Next, they released the Apple AirTags, which are good that they did that. Samsung already has them, and Title's a leader, so it was obvious they were going to do this. But from the time they released, or to the time that they leaked, it's been a crazy difference. They work really well with the Find My app and connect just like AirPods do to the iPhone. So that's, of course, a big sell point for all of Apple's products. It also incorporates the use of iPhones with U1 chip. So you can find the AirTag in AR, type compass thing. I really don't know how to describe it. Next, they released a new Apple TV, which got a new remote and adds the A12 chip to the 4K version, but the HD version keeps the A8 chip. They also added new software stuff to make the A12 chip and 4K look as good as it can on all TVs. The last thing is the Siri remote is new and improved with a new look. First, there is a Siri button on the side of the remote instead of on the face. The volume button is the same, but they added a mute button. Lastly, they added a power button and a D-pad that can slide like the old iPods used to do with the scrubbing on timelines, or on music, sorry. Next was the Imac, which got some new colors like white, blue, purple, red, orange, yellow, and green. All models come with the M1 chip and a 24-inch 4.5K display instead of 21-inch 1080p display of the old model. Some differences, though the base model has 7-core GPU, and then the middle and top have an 8-core GPU, but they all have an 8-core GPU using, of course, the M1, like was in the M1 MacBooks lately. Another is the base only comes with the 4 colors, not all 7. The top model has 512 gigabytes of storage. The base middle have 256 gigabytes. The base has 2 Thunderbolt ports, and the middle and top have extra 2 USB-C ports, or Thunderbolt ports. Lastly, the base comes with a regular Magic Keyboard. The middle and top add a wireless Touch ID keyboard, which I think is the coolest thing ever. They made Touch ID wireless, and that is just the smartest thing that Apple has done with their iMacs, in my opinion. The Power Brick has an Ethernet port on it on the middle and top versions, but not the base model. Prices on each version is $1,599 for the base, $1,849 for the middle range, and $2,100 for the top one. I think the best one to get is the mid-range because it still gets the Touch ID keyboard, but it has the better GPU. It has 4 ports, not just 2. The only thing that makes it cheaper than the top range model is you only get 256 gigabytes of storage instead of 512. But to be honest, if you're getting an iMac, you might have an external drive anyways, so it's not really that bad. Last thing is that they came out with the last thing they came out with was the iPad Pro with the M1 chip, which is just amazing to have a Mac processor in an iPad. It has 8 cores for the GPU and CPU, so kind of like the top M1 iMac, which is definitely laptop performance. Okay, as I was going through this, I realized I forgot RAM. So the 1 terabyte and the 2 terabyte have 16 gigabytes of RAM, which is very impressive on an iPad. And then the other models like the 512, 256, and 128 gigabyte storage models, they have 8 gigabytes of RAM, which is still more than before. They all only had 6 gigabytes of RAM. It's in their MacBooks, so they are making even more laptop-like things into the iPad. The next thing is the 12.9-inch iPad has a new mini LED display, which they're calling XDR Liquid Retina. Display has 1,000 nits of brightness, which is going to be awesome considering the iPad I have, the iPad Air, has 600 nits of brightness, so double the amount. Now that I think about that, is actually like a crazy amount because I have half the brightness of this new iPad. That's some crazy brightness. The 11-inch iPad gets the same screen as last year. Kind of a bummer, but whatever. These iPads gain 5G, which is kind of being normal in 2021 now. One thing that is really cool is a 12 megapixel camera. So it gets the new feature called Center Stage, which zooms and moves with you as you move, and if someone joins in, it zooms out to fit everyone into the screen. This is honestly a big reason to get the iPad, especially because of all the online stuff these days. Or I think, which is going to be a better idea, is they just bring that feature to all iPads in iPadOS somehow, iPadOS 15 somehow. I don't know how they're going to do that, but they're Apple. They should be able to figure it out. Lastly, they added Thunderbolt to the USB port, so it's faster. Hopefully means we'll get full secondary displays support for the new iPads. Hopefully, please, Apple, please. Everything else is the same as the old iPad Pro, so the only real changes are in the inside. You can also add a 2 gigabyte storage, or 2 terabyte, storage. So they're really going for this laptop thing head on, and I honestly think that's the coolest thing ever. The iPad already is like my iPad Air. I use as my laptop to go to school. It's almost honestly I use it more than my computer. Just because of how easy it is to use, and it just has a lot of features. But a little bit also onto that iPad Pro 12.9-inch having that bright big screen and the 11-inch not. That's a big reason why the 12.9-inch will, is because the 12.9-inch is going to be good for people that watch movies on their iPad, or they really want to replace their laptop. They're all going to get 12.9-inch because that's the laptop size. So they're going to put all that stuff into the 12.9-inch. And the 11-inch is kind of for the guys that, like me, that have an iPad Air that maybe want to go up to the M1 chip. Well, then there you go. That's how you can do it. But the iPad Pro is that definite laptop killer that's going to happen. The last part of the video was still kind of about the iPad Pro, but not really. And it's the new white Magic Keyboard instead of black. I don't know how I feel about this because white is just going to get dirty, and black, in my opinion, should be the color of all keyboards. That's just how it is, I think. But like all Apple products lately, they've been wanting to give you this choice of colors, and this is another way they're going to do it. I can see the point if you get like a silver or white iPad, but other than that, I don't see the point in it. But I mean, it gets its option, right? You can always just get the black one anyways, if you're like me and don't like this white one. So, that's actually wrapping up the Apple event. Lots of cool stuff. The iPad is basically a laptop now, and I am fully on board with that. I think that's the smartest thing that Apple has ever done. The new iMac got nice colors, and it looks very thin and modern for this generation of computers. Apple's really doing well with their stuff. They're not like they used to be. Like when the iPad Pro first came out, they gave us mouse support but not really, and they gave us a keyboard but not really. They did these kind of things with the iPad Pro, and now I'm really glad the iPad Pro is just flat out going to be a computer. I'm really glad about that. It's a computer, but it's a little bit different, and I'm happy for that. But that's it for this video.